What's up, boxing fan? This is TBE Boxing, back at you again. Today's topic, wilding. Call me crazy, but I'm starting to believe that Deontay Wilder could win against Tyson Fury. Let's chop it up and see what it's all about.
Got the money for minutes, pretty bitch, gotta show me titties. This is the life that I chose, huh? On the block with the pole, huh? This is the life that I chose, huh? On the block with the pole, huh? That life before riches, huh? That life before riches, huh? Pretty bitch, show me titties, huh? And I got the glaze, run up on me, I'ma make you get it. I'ma make you get it.
Okay, boxing fans, we're gonna talk some boxing today. Big fight coming up this weekend. Deontay Wilder, Tyson Fury trilogy, the big showdown. Okay, this fight has been a long time coming. There's been a lot of talk, a lot of allegations. We all know what they were. It's been going on for over a year now, and we've all seen, the video clips, the charges, the allegations, the threats, and so finally, we're going to see the results play themselves out October 9th this weekend. Okay. So, as we all know, Deontay Wilder lost that second fight with Tyson Fury. He got stopped. His corner threw in the towel. He was pretty, thoroughly defeated in that second fight. And so there was a lot of recriminations and a lot of allegations and a lot of charges, and it has all come down to where we are right now with this third fight, the trilogy, which almost never happened due to various issues. There was a court case. Deontay Wilder won the case, and so because Tyson Fury was trying to avoid the fight. And there was a court case, as I said, and the result was that Deontay Wilder won the court case, and now we have the fight. Now, there's been a lot of criticism of Deontay Wilder, and I was among those that criticized him. And the main reason being that, as far as I was concerned, he didn't do what it took to win that fight, and basically he has been, depending on a one-punch knockout, the right hand, just a one-dimensional fighter for the last couple of years, Deontay Wilder. And my criticism was that, he needs to go back to the fundamentals. He needs to, learn how to box. And that if he did, actually learn how to box, he would become one of the most dangerous fighters in the heavyweight division. And that was my criticism of Deontay Wilder, and that was my suggestion for him to get back to the fundamentals. And not just me, a lot of other people said the same thing. Okay, so here we are. This is the third fight. But before we continue from here, we're going to go to the receipts, okay? And let's look at some receipts, and then we're going to take it from there. Okay, here we go.
Deontay Wilder's trainer, Malik Scott. Malik, good to see you too. Malik, talk to me. Deontay says that you've been able to bring something out of him that nobody else had. Why is that?
I'm a student of the game, obviously, and so Deontay, in my opinion, he ruled the heavyweight division, had 10 defenses at that time, and was just using one weapon, and on certain occasions he'll use 2 or 3. But over the years being in training camp with him in boxing, I used to always say, when he get into a fight, a lot of those things disappear, and I just never understood why. And it's because he got content with just knocking people out with one weapon, which was the right hand. What I did was I went to his toolbox. I didn't give him the toolbox. I went in and I pulled everything out that I feel as though that he do well, and I made sure we didn't do it from from a subconscious state, or we didn't do it by accident. And the way to make sure it wasn't done from a subconscious state was constantly do it and drill it over and over and over again.
Malik, one of the things that people have been super interested in is watching how much you've been working on fundamentals, and that's been something that you guys have talked about openly, right? I think people on the back of that really want to know, what does that mean for Deontay Wilder in terms of the way he approaches this fight? Does he come out aggressive? Quickish answer if you can, sorry.
Well, when it comes to working with Deontay fundamentals, it was easy because he have good fundamentals. It's just at times a lot of times he didn't use them. So it goes back to the statement that I'm really just reminding him about so many different tools that he just wasn't using. And we wasn't going to do those things one time on one sparring partner good and then forget about it. No. We're fighting Tyson Fury. And fighting Tyson Fury, he's not just fighting Tyson Fury. I'm going against the intelligent, great brain as far as Sugar Hill, because Sugar Hill come from the claw. So when I approach a fight like it's the opponent. Then it's the brain behind the opponent. And that's strong coming from over there. And what that did was it created a fervor, an anger kind of. So when I would do film study and I would have scheduled 10, 12 rounds for him to spar, I say, no, we're doing 16 rounds. I'm going to stay up till 5 a.m. to do film study. I'm going to call you at...
Okay. So there it is. Now, I don't mind saying it, and I like what Malik Scott is saying there. That's the perspective that was needed, I believe, and hopefully, it all plays out the way it's supposed to in the fight. And I say that to say that hopefully that when Deontay Wilder goes in the ring, all of this extra training that he has been doing, he's able to execute in the ring, because training is one thing, but executing is a whole nother ball game. So hopefully everything gels together and he's going to execute what he practiced in sparring and, in training in the ring. But I do have to say that I like what Malik is talking about. I like the perspective that he has, and I think it's the correct perspective. And like you said, there's many tools that Deontay Wilder can use, because Deontay Wilder is a talented individual in terms of physical attributes, okay, for boxing. And like I've always said, if you would just learn the fundamentals, just go back to the drawing board and pick up some, more punch selection, use the jab more, use different punches rather than just depending on that one right hand to land in a fight, that he would do much better. And it looks like Malik Scott has taken up that position, and that's what they've been working on. And I like the fact that he's talking about training for 16 rounds as opposed to 12 rounds, and that means we're talking about conditioning and work rate and all that. So hopefully we're going to see a Deontay Wilder, who has a higher work rate, is doing more things in the ring, and is using a versatile repertoire of punches. In other words, working on his punches, setting traps, and and if we see all of that, I think we're going to see a different fight. Okay. Now, there's one thing that Malik said that kind of had me concerned a little bit, though, because he was saying that he wanted Deontay Wilder. He didn't want Deontay Wilder. Basically he was saying that he was trying to drill this into Deontay Wilder, and he didn't want Wilder, doing things subconsciously or something to that effect. But I'm not, I don't understand where he's coming off with that, because that's exactly what you want. Okay, you want your fighter to practice so much that when he goes in the ring, everything is subconscious. It just, instinctual. It just happens. Okay, he doesn't have to think about it. You don't want him thinking about, which punch to throw. You want it to flow. That you want the punches to flow naturally. Okay, because thinking takes time. Okay, so you want to make adjustments in the ring, but you don't want to be thinking about every single punch. Okay, consciously. You want to be doing it subconsciously, and so hopefully, he just spoke And that's exactly what he means. What I'm saying. Okay, so that being said, let's hope that's what that's the case. Now, it looks to me like Deontay Wilder at this point, based on what I'm seeing and based on the training that's been going on, that he's accepted the loss. Okay, because if he hadn't accepted the loss, he probably wouldn't be doing all the training he's doing now. Okay, and just like Tyson Fury had said at the press conference, if Deontay Wilder thought that he cheated and that's why he won, why is he making all these changes? So it's a good point. But the bottom line is that he is making the changes, and that's what's important. And those changes needed to be made, and I'm glad that he's making the changes, regardless of why. Okay, so it looks to me, that we are criticized Deontay Wilder for what for the fight. We said that he needs to to do more. He needed to go back to the fundamentals. We said all these things. Not just me. A lot of people said the same thing. It seems to me that he has done that. Okay, he's doing what he's supposed to do. But still, I'm getting a lot of negative feedback from a lot of people saying that the same thing is going to happen again. He's going to get stopped by Fury. There's no way he can beat Fury. Fury got his number. Now that may have been the case in the past, that Fury had his number, but I don't know if Fury has his number now, because it looks to me like Deontay Wilder, got a new number. Okay, whether Tyson Fury has that number or not, we don't know. But we're gonna see if it's really a new number, or not, when they actually enter the ring and we see what Deontay Wilder is gonna do. But again, I like what he has done, and to say that he doesn't stand a chance, or the same thing's gonna happen again, or this, that, and the other, it's not giving him credit for what for the changes that he has made. Okay, and I want to give Deontay Wilder the credit, because I said I criticized him about the things that he wasn't doing, and then he went out there and started doing the things that I said he wasn't doing. So I got to give him credit for that, and people have to give him credit for that as well. You can't just say, oh, the same thing's gonna happen again, when he actually made changes. Okay, and he's attempting to make changes, so we got to give him the benefit of the doubt in this case, and I'm going to give Deontay the benefit of the doubt. And I will say this: if Deontay Wilder goes out there and does the things that I've seen him doing in practice, and and he's able to execute, okay, then I think he has a very good chance of beating Tyson Fury. I don't see any reason why he shouldn't be able to beat Tyson Fury if he goes out there and practice and execute those things that he's been working on in the gym. And that's the key factor, okay, because that's when the rubber meets the road. It's in the execution. I mean, you can practice all you want, but you have to execute, in the ring at the appropriate time, okay? And so October 9th, we're going to see if Deontay Wilder is going to be able to execute against Tyson Fury. It should be an interesting fight, and I'm definitely looking forward to it. But I do see that there's a mutual respect between Sugar Hill and Malik Scott. You heard them talking about how they're going to. As a matter of fact, you should go and watch that whole press conference. There's a lot of good information in there. This is just a few clips I took from there, but I like the fact that Malik Scott is talking about the fact that he's not just training his fighter, Deontay Wilder, but he has Tyson Fury is not just his opponent, but he also has Sugar Hill as his opponent, which is the way to look at it, because Sugar Hill is the trainer. He's the one that came in and changed up Tyson Fury's whole boxing game until where we saw what happened in the second fight. So the fact that Malik Scott is acknowledging Sugar Hill and saying that he has to, basically beat Sugar Hill, and not just Tyson Fury, but he has to win against Tyson Fury and Sugar Hill, is the correct way to look at it. And again, this is what's making me feel comfortable in saying that I think Deontay Wilder has a chance to actually, beat Tyson Fury in this fight, because they're approaching both Malik Scott and and Deontay Wilder naturally. They both seem to be approaching this fight from the correct perspective, okay, and that's good to see, and that's encouraging, and I think we might see something extraordinary come October 9th from Deontay Wilder. And, I'm pretty sure it's going to be a much more competitive fight than the second fight, okay? And there's a possibility that we can see Tyson Fury get knocked out for the first time in his career, okay? Because it looks to me like Deontay Wilder is highly motivated in this fight, okay? And he seems comfortable, and he seems to be in a good place, from a mental standpoint, which is great. Now, personally, he made some comments, during the fight. I mean, during the press conference about, the position that he's in and the love that he's getting from the people around him and all of this and all of that. Now, it seems to me that he was casting some aspersions, to his former trainer. Okay, the person that they claim put something in his water, this, that, and the other. Now, to me, I'm pretty sure that the thing that we see Deontay Wilder working on are the same things that his former trainer wanted him to work on as well. But for whatever reason, he didn't work on those things. And, Malik Scott alluded to it, that he got comfortable just depending on the right hand. And that's the same thing his former trainer said. Okay? He said that Deontay Wilder was, comfortable, basically just depending on the right hand, didn't want to really train or do anything else. And so, for whatever reason, he wasn't able to get, what he wanted get out of Deontay Wilder, what he wanted Deontay Wilder to do. But like I said, I personally believe that that was the mindset of Deontay Wilder at the time. Okay, and even Deontay Wilder said it, that what happened to him, he doesn't mind what happened to him because it made him stronger. It had to happen to him for him to learn. Okay, and it seems to have been the case, and it seems that he has learned, and he's taking those lessons seriously. So it's not that the other trainer, his former trainer, couldn't get anything out of him. It's just that Deontay Wilder didn't want to do anything. And if the fighter doesn't want to do anything, okay, there's not much the trainer can do. But in this case, with Malik Scott, it looks like Deontay Wilder realized that he had to make some changes because he actually lost. Okay, and so now he's motivated to make the change that's needed. So it's not that his former trainer couldn't get anything out of him. It's that it's up to, at the end of the day, it's up to Deontay Wilder. It doesn't matter what the trainer doing if the fighter is not willing to make the effort. And he wasn't willing to make the effort with his former trainer, but he's willing to make the effort with this trainer, and that's all good. Okay, but a lot of people, and even Deontay Wilder himself is talking as if his former trainer, wasn't doing the right thing, or wasn't training him the right way, or something like that. But I think that's not the right way to look at that. I think it's just Deontay Wilder not coming to grips with the fact that he's not coming to grips with some of the things he said about his trainer, and looked like his former trainer, and it looked like he's not willing to step back from some of the accusations that he made against his former trainer. I think that's unfortunate. He did recognize that he had to make changes, like his former trainer was saying he had to make, and the fact that he has made those changes now, instead of when he was supposed to. If he had listened to his former trainer, he probably would have lost the second fight. But that's neither here nor there. The bottom line is that October 9th, this fight is coming up. Deontay Wilder seems to have made the changes that he needed to make. Now, what it comes down to is to go into the ring and execute, okay? Because as we have seen many times, fighters have, claimed to reinvent themselves, and then when they get in the ring and got hit by the first punch, they reverted back to their old self and start doing, things the old way. So hopefully this is not the case with Deontay Wilder, and we're going to see a new and improved Deontay Wilder in the ring on October 9th. As for Tyson Fury, we all know Tyson Fury, it's Tyson Fury. So, he's talking the same talk, okay? He's going to go in there and he's going to do the same thing he did to Deontay Wilder, the first time. Now, whether or not, that's the case, we're going to see. We don't know if Tyson Fury is going to be doing anything different. I've heard that he said he's going to come in there a little heavier this time, but I don't know if that's the case. He doesn't look that heavy to me in the press conference. So it looks to me like he's not really coming in as heavy as he said he was going to, 300 pounds or whatever he said. But whatever weight he comes in at, Tyson Fury, knows what he's doing in that ring. And we're going to see if he can make the adjustments necessary to defeat the new and improved Deontay Wilder. So overall, this is going to be an interesting fight, people. It's going to be a great fight, I believe. It's going to be an exciting fight. There's going to be a lot of drama. There's going to be a lot of tension, okay? And I believe that somebody is going to get knocked out in this fight, okay? And we're going to see, who that is on October 9th. But like I've said, already, and I'm going to say it again, I like what Deontay Wilder has been doing. I like the fact that he's been working on his skills, his repertoire of punches, his punch selection, okay? And from the way I'm looking at it, it looks great. But again, a word of caution, where the rubber meets the road is in the execution in the ring. And this is what we're going to have to see from Deontay Wilder. You have to execute when he goes in that ring in order for all of these things to work. You have to put all that together and execute it in the boxing ring. And that's what we're going to see if Deontay Wilder can do on October 9th. It should be a great fight. Definitely looking forward to it. Good luck to Deontay Wilder. Good luck to Tyson Fury, and may the best man win. With that said, this is TBE Boxing. That's all I have for right now. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell icon. Go to tbeboxing.com. See the latest headlines and boxing commentary. And again, I can't emphasize it enough. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. That's all I have. This is TBE Boxing. I'm out, baby.
Got the money for minutes, pretty bitch, gotta show me titties. This is the life that I chose, huh? On the block with the pole, huh? This is the life that I chose, huh? On the block with the pole, huh? That life before riches, huh? That life before riches, huh? Pretty bitch, show me titties, huh? And I got the glazzy run up on me, I'ma make you get it. I'ma make you get it.